Alright, so as you guys may know, Chromakopia is recently released, which I did do a ranking on, which y'all seem to like. So I feel like it's time to go back to my older roots on this channel and do exactly what I always do, me ride Tyler the Creator. So I thought what better way to do that than to make a ranking of all of Tyler's projects, including his new release of Chromakopia. And yeah, by the way, I am including the Estate Sale, Bastard, and his older unreleased masterpieces. But before I start, this is just my opinion. But like I always say, I'm always right, bruh. Now we go into depth in this video of every studio Tyler album, all the way to some niche Tyler shit that I don't know if a lot of y'all heard of. And because of this, we decided to yet again link the more underground Tyler projects in the Discord so y'all can listen to it as well. Now we didn't choose every Tyler project to ever exist, cause not gonna lie, a lot of it is just lost media, but we chose most of the good ones and the ones that sound more like constructed projects. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Let's go. Alright, taking last place, we obviously starting with the more obscure projects. So we're gonna put a little project I like to call I Smell Panties. Yeah, technically this isn't really a project, more like an umbrella era for Tyler and Jasper's wacky ass alter egos. I just recently found out about this project, and yeah, I'm not surprised at all. This is just something Tyler would do. Project ain't got nothing going for it, unless you're trying to hear some pitched up wannabe Eminem type bars. Like bro, I really sat down and listened to Tyler, or Jasper, I don't even know, do a Stitch impression and turn a kid's character into something a little bit less innocent. And also, just look at the cover for Babes. The fuck is this? 1 out of 10. I don't know. Alright, next up, I'm gonna put Sounds on Acid. So basically, this was just an alias project where Tyler called himself Poly/Mono, which means like ghetto tech. And this for real, just one of the lost media older Tyler projects out there. This project is just filled with a bunch of instrumentals with some jazz influence, which makes sense. Tyler loves his jazz shit. But I'm guessing Tyler made this album to appeal to hippies, but I'm not so sure. But you know, I see the vision, I guess. But we moving on. 3 out of 10. Alright, taking the 20 spot, we got another one of Tyler's lost media projects, Stereotype. Now, it was kind of hard to find all the tracks to this project to listen to, but once we did figure it out, we could definitely see Tyler around this time improving on his beats. The potential is really good for sure. We got some groovy shit on here like Rocky's Revenge, and if you go even further, we can of course see some Pharrell dick riding, where we can for sure see the influence on tracks like 90s Kids and Hot Boy Love Song. Most of the tracks are just snippets though, but this is definitely one of the better Ace the Creator projects. 3 out of 10. Alright, taking 19, I'm gonna put Eargasm. To me, this is a better version of Stereotype, where not all the songs on this project were lost. We could definitely see him do some darker beats, shit that kind of sound like Bastard, like on Herpes and Cupcakes. Yeah, of course Tyler choosing song names like this, but hey, at least there's some more rapping on this project. Like, it's not great, but all I gotta say is we love the progression. I don't know, bruh. 3 out of 10. Taking the 18th spot, we're gonna put another Ace the Creator project, Bodega. This project, I don't got a ton to say about. Tyler does a little rapping on this one, like on Schoolio 300. And then he also got a feature doing the most Kanye-inspired flow I've ever heard on Fresher Than This. But the instrumental's kind of cute. I don't know. 3 out of 10. Alright, taking the 17th spot, we got probably the most iconic Ace the Creator project, which motherfuckers on TikTok swear they some diehard fans just for knowing this stupid album. But yeah, I'm talking about At Your Own Risk. Yeah, the features on this tracklist are obviously fake. Like, dog, do you really think this motherfucker got Jay-Z on his little MySpace album? But hey, the tables have turned now, because I'm pretty sure Tyler has a song with almost everyone featured on this tracklist, which is crazy. This entire album is instrumentals again, with the exception of Get Fresh, which has some pretty decent sounding rapping compared to the other type of shit I heard, so I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 10. Taking number 16, I'm gonna put another unheard Tyler project, Nilbog. This is basically just a Tyler project made out of boredom when Tyler was recovering from foot surgery. This album contains 37 tracks, but only around half of it has been found. Since this was around 2011 to 2012, Tyler's production was obviously going to be better than some of those MySpace projects, and not gonna hold you, the instrumentals do got some energy and vibes to it, like the track T Goes Hard, same with Leather. Those ones for sure stood out for me, but I feel like I should mention the fact that Tyler was remixing Justin Bieber's Baby randomly. I don't know what's going on with that, but I guess we gotta trust the creative process with Tyler. I do call him a genius after all. I'm giving this a 4 out of 10. We're ready in top 15, and taking this spot, I'm gonna put a version of Bastard before the final release, Dinosaur. Dinosaur was a project set to release in March 2009 before being scrapped and turned into Bastard. This project got a few songs that got released on Bastard, like French, which has one of Tyler's oldest music videos. The random instrumentals on here are also paired with a few bits of rapping, where Tyler seems to be set on making a rap career during this time. Definitely one of the reasons this is higher up compared to the other projects, because this is probably one of the first on the list to have a bit of substance. 5 out of 10. Alright, next up we got a collaboration a lot of people have been waiting to hear for a minute. Tyler the Creator and A$AP Rocky's Wanksap. Man, I've still been waiting for this to drop to this day. Like bro, Rocky and Tyler is always a great duo. Like, they both had a crazy run together with Potato Salad and Wharf Talk, so it's kind of cool that they still got some more songs in the vault. Only problem with this project is there's not a ton to it, but production wise, it sounds more completed than the previous albums I mentioned. Yeah, everything's demo quality, but I still fuck with what Jingling got going for. I feel like Tyler and ASAP should finish that song. 5 out of 10. Alright, next up we got one of the first versions of one of my favorite Tyler albums, Wolf Volume 1. Yeah, if I'm gonna be honest, this project does not sound remotely close to the released version because this was around 2010 where Tyler was still in his Goblin era, and that makes sense because there's a few Goblin tracks and sessions from that time period on here. Like bro, Earl Sweatshirt low-key cooking on some of these songs on here. On God, he be sounding young as shit on Rats, but the fact that I'm hearing a dude that was almost straight out of high school spit these crazy ass bars just shows how crazy he was back then. No one on his level of rapping, bro. I'm so for real. 5 out of 10. Alright, going back to back, I'm gonna put Wolf again right here. But instead of version 1, it's version 2. Version 2 sounds a lot like the type of music and vibe Tyler was going for during the Wolf era. And a lot of the songs on Wolf are on this version, including a bit of scraps and uncompleted ideas that have some pretty solid production choices. This was around the time Tyler began upping his production game even more, so I think that's why I can put this higher up. Also, this project got that song Tyler did with Miley Cyrus. Just crazy to think that something like this exists out there, but on God, the song Pharrell vibe. I mean, Pharrell produced it, so I guess that explains why. 5 out of 10. Alright, next up we moving a bit ahead into Tyler's later eras. So taking 11, I'm gonna put Scumfuck Flower Boy. This for sure gonna be higher up in the unreleased category, just because this was around the time Tyler began incorporating softer sounds, and his production was just getting to a whole nother level at this point. So I'ma obviously like the type of shit during this era. This album has a lot of the original recordings and versions of songs off Flower Boy, and along with that, we also got another unheard Tyler and ASAP song. So you know, obviously we giving it some extra brownie points. And even on top of that, we also got a Mac Miller song on here that for real I kind of mess with. Mac Miller, an underappreciated legend for real. On God, y'all should give my Mac Miller video a watch, but shit, I'ma just shut up. No one likes a self-promoter, but 5 out of 10. Alright, taking the 10th spot and the final unreleased album, I'ma put House on Fire. Originally, Call Me If You Get Lost was actually supposed to be a mixtape titled House on Fire, where he would rap on other people's beats, but Tyler ended up scrapping this idea and started putting his production on here too. But obviously his original idea was still prevalent based on the throwaways on here. On God, there's a reason this is the best unreleased Tyler project. It just has the best bangers and has some shit that sounds way more polished than the rest. Like bro, Chaka is a banger. I know y'all have heard that shit on TikTok before too, but that don't mean it don't go crazy. This album also got Crack Era, which recently got released officially by Maxo Cream. This duo hella good, not gonna lie, cause Tyler needed a new homie, especially after Rocky ghosted bro for a bit. But yeah, this is a good album, 6 out of 10. Alright, now we get into the good shit now. We starting off the release portion of this ranking, probably with Bastard. For Tyler trying to get his name out there with the little resources he had, I honestly really like where Bastard was going for. This album, the start to the Wolf trilogy, and it's cool to see Tyler have ideas with connected album releases all the way back in 2009. The story and what this album got going for is pretty good, but obviously I think it's the weakest out of Tyler's discography just because Tyler wasn't fully matured as an artist yet. And not gonna lie, sometimes the shit he would say to get the main album's points across was a bit wild, we could say. But hey, it definitely worked because I don't think Tyler would be at the point he is right now if he didn't garner a little bit of attention at first, even if it was done in questionable ways. You know, Ass Milk with Earl is of course iconic, and we gotta love Odd Toddlers with the MF Doom beat. Pretty iconic album, 6 out of 10. Alright, next up we got Tyler's first studio release, Goblin. This album definitely one of Tyler's most hated albums, and yeah, I can see why, because it isn't exactly his strongest project, but we also gotta remember that there are some highlights to this album. Like, She is one of Tyler's sickest beats, and Frank Ocean's performance on this one, bro, ahead of its time for real. I'm still bumping this shit occasionally in the big 2024, so if that doesn't show you how long lasting Tyler's music is, I don't know what will. Yet again, Tyler was in his sort of rebellious phase, which is just obvious with the lyrics we got going on Troncat. Yeah, y'all definitely know about that song for sure. Troncat for real, the first song that motherfuckers who have only listened to Tyler post Flower Boy accidentally come across. I see it time and time again. All the white girls' faces just be turning pale at this moment, wondering how their favorite bisexual rapper could write such demonizing lyrics. But shit, why does it kinda go hard though? What the fuck? 6 out of 10. Alright, next up has gotta be one of Tyler's most interesting, but low-key kinda crazy projects. Yeah, I'm talking about Cherry Bomb. Cherry Bomb to me is that one album in Tyler's discography that really highlights Tyler's change in production and just overall as an artist, if I'm being for real. Cherry Bomb definitely sounds shifty. I mean, Tyler even says it himself on Massa. And with changes comes hate. We all know this. Cherry Bomb to critics was considered one of his worst projects, and honestly, I highly disagree. Yeah, Cherry Bomb has its flaws, and Tyler's writing isn't exactly at his highest on some of the songs, but that doesn't mean we should discredit some of the actual sparks on this record, like Smuckers with Kanye. Like, come on, it's Kanye on a Tyler project in 2015. That's just impressive. And of course, I'm not forgetting Two-Seater, Find Your Wings, or Okaga. This shit's still on repeat, bro. I don't want to hear none of y'all say this album aged poorly, and now that he's also released the instrumentals, I think a lot of people are coming back to this album and realizing that Tyler low-key cooked. 7 out of 10. Alright, taking the next spot, which definitely took some time to think about, but yeah, I'm gonna put Tyler's recent album on here, Chromakopia. Now look, we get into a point where it's gonna be hard to rank the rest of these albums, because high-key, the rest of these albums hold up high standards, and let me tell you, Chromakopia exceeds yet again. Tyler didn't make the most groundbreaking album this year compared to some previous projects, but that don't mean I'm not already loving this shit. All these new songs are on repeat, bro. Like Him is good, and the same plot twist from Wolf Not Gonna Lie, Take Your Mask Off is sweet as shit, Thought I Was Dead goes immensely hard. What more can you ask from an unexpected Tyler drop, bro? I've already made a whole video on this album, so I'm not gonna be going into a ton of details. Just know this album's good, but I still need time to sit with it. But for now, this is where I'm putting it, 8 out of 10. Alright, going into the top 5, we're gonna put an album I hold dearly, Wolf. Now Wolf compared to some newer Tyler projects isn't as insane, I get it. Like shit, I know some of y'all run into the comments confused as shit on how I put this shit above Chromakopia. Cause I can. My channel, my rules, bro. Nah, but for real, this album is just simply iconic, bro. The story continues on from Bastard and Goblin, with Wolf being a prequel, and out of this entire trilogy, Wolf takes a spot for just doing it best. The storytelling just way better on this one. Like, I've seen the hour-plus long YouTube documentaries about the lore of this album, bro. This shit took some mad thinking. Also, how could we forget that there's not one, but 2 Frank Ocean features on this one, both in which are just straight bangers. Rusty has some insane rapping too. 48 gotta be one of my favorite Tyler songs, and we even got some jazz on this thing with Trio 95. I speak for myself when I say there's a reason Wolf is in my top 5, 8 out of 10. Alright, we close to top 3, but for the 4th spot, I'm gonna put Call Me If You Get Lost. This album probably has Tyler's most quality and thought-provoking songs, and it's hard to just look at this album and say straight up that this isn't a masterpiece. If you don't got nothing positive to say about this project, I just don't believe you. Like, bro, you can't just look at tracks like Sweet, I Thought You Wanted to Dance, and Wilshire, and say this isn't some straight gas. Like, bro, this dude Tyler somehow made Youngboy sound majestic as shit, and have bro rapping his ass off. Like, Tyler the only motherfucker in this industry to make Youngboy lose the YN in him. Massa and Corsa too, bro. Those tracks for real gotta have one of my favorite rapping moments from Tyler ever. This album just highlights the straight bangers Tyler can produce, 8 out of 10. Alright, we in the real deal, the top 3. And for the top 3, I think I'm gonna put Flower Boy. This album was Tyler's release straight after Cherry Bomb. And during that time, Tyler was at a point in his career where he needed some sort of redemption. I mean, this dude straight up manifested his success for this album and promised himself that his career would basically be over if he didn't drop a banger. This album just a straight up comeback from Tyler, where critics took a turn and realized that this dude just low-key talented. And that's what I gotta love about Flower Boy, because this album does exactly what you expect and more. 911 definitely in my top 5 Tyler songs, and y'all know I'm a sucker for that sweet shit Tyler be doing, and there's a lot of that going throughout this album. Garden Shed, where Tyler does a quick 180 and tells everyone he likes kissing boys, a banger. Dropping C's with Lil Wayne being the feature, banger. Both songs with Rex, banger. This album will forever hold up, 8.5 out of 10. Alright, taking second place might be a bit surprising to y'all, but I actually think Call Me If You Get Lost, The Estate Sale, might just be a teeny bit above Flower Boy. Now this one was a hard one to pick between, because I was going to put Flower Boy at second, but then I remember that Tyler blessed us with a release in 2023, adding onto Call Me If You Get Lost with even more heat. Basically take Call Me If You Get Lost, slap on some extra bangers, and now I feel like with the inclusion of Sorry Not Sorry, Boyfriend Girlfriend, and oh yeah, Wharf Talk with ASAP Rocky, now if I'm gonna be honest, we got something to compete with Flower Boy. Like bro, I know this release was pretty recent, but god do I remember the vibes this rollout brought. This album came out at a weird time in my life when I was just making this channel, and it helped me bring me back up for real. So it kind of holds a bit of a place in my heart. I don't know, but this is an 8.5 out of 10. Alright, drum roll please. Yeah, it's not like y'all couldn't see this coming though. But yeah, obviously taking number 1, I'm gonna put Igor. Now before y'all clown on me for having some basic ass takes, or whatever the fuck y'all comment vultures gotta say, just know that there's reasons this shit became a basic ass take. This album's just good. How the fuck else should I explain this, bro? I'm not gonna lie for the sake of standing out. Like I'm telling you, there is not a single miss on this album for me. Tyler's storytelling and just the overall concept of this album is just at its peak. No questions asked. This album loops perfectly to fit this love triangle narrative, and the substance in between to get the album's points across just is done so perfectly. Gone Gone Thank You, just a beautiful Tyler track. That's of course in my top 3. New Magic Wand 2. Like, bro, this gotta be one of Tyler's best songs for real. I mean, Tyler even says it himself. Oh, and also Kanye. Yeah, Puppet goes crazy as well. But shit, I ain't forgetting probably Tyler's best outro for an album, Are We Still Friends? I want this song to get the praise it deserves, cause sometimes I feel like y'all be sleeping on it. Tyler does some insane experimentation on this one, with some soothing guitars and build-ups that just really hit you in a different way. Like, this song to me doesn't sound like something that would be forgotten about in time, cause Tyler was for real trying to make some generational shit on this album. And this song just explains it all. Like all of it, bro. Even this 10 out of 10 rating. Damn, what? We already done with the ranking? I know, right? It didn't feel like I just ranked 22 different albums, but I did, and I want to take a nap. So that's what I'm gonna do after this video. Hey, remember to join that Discord. We got some crazy shit coming up involving the server, so don't miss that. Subscribe too, please. But yeah, I'm out.